food supply for 6 days in the backcountry. What's up everybody, I'm Dan and welcome to Backpacking Adventures, where we talk about everything backpacking, hiking, and gear. And if those interest you, consider subscribing, but make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss a thing. In my last video, I went through my gear loadout for my 6-day trip in the Susquehannock Trail. And today I want to talk about the food I'm going to be bringing. This is my food bag for 6 days. So here's all the food I'm going to be taking. It is in its original packages. I just wanted to show you the brands and everything that I'm going to be taking. Now I went through and I repacked everything and put a lot of things in Ziploc bags, which I'm going to show you and I'll talk about why. I know in a lot of other videos like this, people would lay out all their food for each day and go through day by day. I don't do that. I just figure out the meals I'm going to need for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks in the morning, midday snacks, coffee, drink additives, everything like that. I don't like to have to figure out what I want to eat in the morning because I may not be hungry for that in the morning, or may not be hungry for a specific dinner that I have for day 2. I like to pack a variety of different things and then I'll just pick what I want to eat as I go on the trail. It makes it a lot easier for me and I'm happier with what I ended up eating. And sometimes I just may not be interested in a hot meal and I may want Pop-Tarts for dinner, or I want my chili for breakfast. This way it gives me a lot of options. So when I go over this, it's going to be in the order of the meals, or category if you want to call it that, not days. And for my breakfast, they really consist of a mix of this kind of granola with a breakfast essentials. And this, when you put this powder in there and just pour water in it, it basically can taste like milk. And the good thing about this type of breakfast is if you want it cold, you just pour cold water in. If it's a cold morning, you want it hot, heat up some water, makes a hot cereal. This is perfect. And I have 2 different kinds. This is just one so you can see it. But I have fruit and nut, and then I have triple berry, and these are great. So I mix them up in Ziploc bags. And also for all my Ziploc bags for my dinners, I will put that it's either breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I put what it is. You can usually kind of tell by looking at it, but not always. And then I add how much water. This, it's up to you, so I don't have that on there. And if I'm cooking, I put the cooking time. And as you can see, I have 5 of them here. That will cover my breakfast. So now for my lunches are pretty straightforward. They're basically just sandwiches, and it's going to be a difference between peanut butter and jelly and then Spam sandwiches. So the peanut butter and jelly, I bought this thing. I'm just going to take it as is and scoop it out as I need it. This is also going to be a snack, so I'll be able to scoop it out and eat it and supplement different meals or whatever I want. So I have the peanut butter jelly. I also have this thin bread. It makes it perfect for taking backpacking. And of course I have my Spam. And again, this will be supplemented with snacks. So the caloric value of these sandwiches is going to be around 400 to 500 calories a piece. And when I add the snacks, it'll be anywhere from 600 to 700 calories per the lunch. And now for my dinners. I have about 5 meals planned out. And again, they'll also be supplemented with snacks. And of course I'm going to have ramen. I made this with Spam. I also have mac and cheese. Now how I did this was I used 2 of these packets, and I did figure out the amount of water, and you just can't empty the macaroni, fill that water to the line, and that's the amount you do, because it will be totally wrong and you will be drinking macaroni soup, and it's just not pleasant. Believe me, I know. So the way I did it was with the macaroni in, I tested it out. With the macaroni in, I filled it to the line and I strained the water and I just multiplied that by 2. So that's how I figured out how much water. And I put the cheese packets in it because if it's humid out, they can get all funky. And this is the powdered cheese. I always go for the powdered. And I also have, it's 8 ounces for 2 of these. And it's always better to put a little less in because you can always add. Next, I have Alpine Air creamy potato and cheddar soup. I also have, of course, my Texas State Fair chili. And again, this came out to be a lot of food. So what I did was I split it into 2 bags. And it does come with packets of cheese and everything else. So I put that in one. I'm only going to use half of it, then I'll transfer that into the other half when I'm ready to eat it. And with every one of the meals, another source of protein is going to be a bag of this beef jerky. And I am bringing several packets of this olive oil. This will add about 120 calories to each one of these meals, which will be perfect because I'm sure I'm going to need it. So just the meal parts themselves range between 350 and 450 calories, plus I think it's 100 calories for this, plus another 120 calories. So you're talking about 600, 700, 800 calories per meal, plus any snacks that I add with it. So I think that's gonna be plenty. All right, so let's talk about my snacks. Now for my snacks, I bring a variety of things. Now these are for to eat throughout the day, as well as eat with some of my meals. So just to start out, some of the things I'm gonna eat while I'm hiking would be these little packs of mixed nuts. They work out great. There's around 200 calories. Of course, you can't go anywhere on a backpacking trip without your Snickers bars. You gotta have those. These most likely are gonna melt, but I'll just squeeze it out like a toothpaste tube. I also have a variety of different crackers, some beef sticks for additional protein, some protein granola bars. These things are really good, and some chips. So with this, for during the day, as well as supplementing my meals, this is gonna be perfect, I think. So now for my water additives. So I'm gonna take several different kinds. Of course, in the morning, I'm gonna have coffee. I can't do anything without coffee. As well, you know, since I'm old, I gotta take my fiber with me, so I'll be taking a bunch of these packets of Metamucil. Probably more information than you wanted to hear, but it's the reality of it. I also have two different kinds of drink additives. I have these two, which are just flavorings. I have Tang Orange, Kool-Aid. This one is cherry, it's my favorite. And then I also add to it, I have these two different flavors of electrolytes that I will mix in the middle of the day to replace my electrolytes so I don't dehydrate. So this is all my food for 6 days, 5 nights. It comes in at about 9.93-ish pounds, let's say 10 pounds, or 4.5 kilograms. And let me tell you, this is the most food I ever had to carry, and I'm gonna feel it for sure. But on the bright side, it'll only get lighter as I go. As I eat the food, be less weight. And since it's almost impossible to pack everything in here to where I can have it by day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and still fit in here, believe me, I tried. So what I've done is I just threw everything in on how I fit it. I keep one extra bag and I keep the food for the day. And I'm gonna keep this on the outside of my pack, probably in the bottom pocket. And I will just eat this throughout the day. Then when I'm making dinner at night, what I will do is I will replenish this with the food for the next day, put it in my spare bag, and the next day I'll just put it in my backpack and I'll be good to go. For trash, I do keep the Ziploc bags. I'll probably bring about 2 or 3 of these along. And since this trail goes through a couple state parks, I don't know if I'll ever come across a garbage can, but if I do, I can empty out. That would be great. So that's it for the food. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and if you think there's any other food ideas I could bring that are gonna be light but high in calories. I really wanna know what you think. And make sure if you like this video, you wanna see more of these, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you after my trip.